It's finally football season on the Suncoast. We kick off our Friday football coverage with our game of the week between Palmetto and Booker High Schools. Lyndon Blake is at Palmetto High live right now. Lyndon, what's the scene? Is everyone excited?
Everyone is so excited. We are here at our game of the week, our first game of the week of this season. I already can feel the fever coming over me right now. Booker, Palmetto will be here later on. You can see a couple of Palmetto Tigers coming in and out of the locker room, but right now, I have the future of Palmetto, the freshman football team, here with me, and one of them has a message for Tiger Nation.
Well, it's a great foundation. We're a good school, and we're finna go undefeated this year, and let's go Tigers.
Are you excited to watch your team compete tonight against Booker?
Yes, ma'am. Finna go ahead and take this W.
Any early predictions? Got a score prediction?
32-0.
100-0.
So they are pretty confident that the Palmetto Tigers will take care of Booker tonight. Two things I want to take away from this game. Booker, they have a guy that was their wide receiver coming to quarterback, to Lee Keaton. He will be a senior year. He's a USF commit. We'll have a special guest talking about him in the 6 o'clock hit. And also from Palmetto, Don Brennan and Ben Bubbick will get into their quarterback battle. But one thing that's special about this year's team, Coach Marino told me earlier this season that they have only had one person leave Palmetto to transfer to another school. So this is a very tight team. They are one big family up here in Palmetto, and they're excited to get things started. Their quarterback, Jason Spicer, from last season is moving to wide receiver. I met with him earlier. He's all pumped up about the game. It's hard to believe it's my third season covering football here for SNN, so it's nothing better than being here on Friday Night Lights, and I can't wait to game time. Grant?
And Lyndon, it's only the exhibition, but these teams take this game seriously, don't they?
You know, one thing I've noticed about moving to Florida is in other states, exhibition games, I mean, it's good to do them, but not everyone does them. Down here, they treat it like a regular season game. I mean, they come out here ready. They're going to work out a few kinks, but a win is a win, even though it's just the Fall Jamboree or the Kickoff Classic. Everyone's treating this like it's the start of the season.
Lyndon, thank you very much for that. We will check back with her shortly. We also have Ben out there. It's a big night for
very
high
exciting
school
night.
Football, yes.
Covering our Friday football fever game of the week in Palmetto, Ben Bobick, and he's going to join us now. Ben, these coaches, they're approaching the game differently, and I talked to Braden Rivers' coach, Kurt Bradley. He said the same thing. He's playing maybe 1-2 quarters of starters, and then they're out.
I mean, that's exactly it, Don. I mean, it's kind of like a preseason game. It's kind of not like a preseason game, but hey, you only get so many games to play at the high school level, so you have to take advantage of it. And for these two teams, both of them are out to prove something. You look at Booker last year, they were 4-6, missed out on the playoffs by just one game, lost by a touchdown to Southeast. And you come up here to Palmetto, they were 6-4. They were a good football team. I mean, they shut 3 straight teams out, and they lose to the hands of Braden River, they lose to the hands of Venice, and they find themselves on the outside looking in. I mean, these are two teams that could really benefit from that playoff role, but hey, it starts right here tonight at Palmetto, and like you said, Coach Dumick has said he's kind of just trying to get the guys lined up, and you have that opportunity to do that here. That's the one thing about this game. Hey, you lose, it's not the worst thing in the world. It doesn't count towards that record, but it's a good idea to kind of get where you're at. But on the Palmetto side of the ball, I mean, they have a quarterback battle that's going at it, and they have two guys that are going to really, I think we're going to see a lot of tonight, and we're going to hopefully get to see maybe have a definitive starter going into next week.
And it is finally football season on the Suncoast. We kick off our Friday football coverage with our game of the week between Palmetto and Booker High Schools.
You know how we always talk to the coaches, the players, but what about the players' biggest fans? Yes, I'm talking about the moms out there. I'm here with starting quarterback for Booker, Talik Keaton's mom, Miss Carol Hammond, and this is his first start at quarterback.
Yes. He's very excited. I'm excited, but I'm nervous too.
So nervous, and I know you're also getting the nerves, but I'm sure all the moms out there can relate. This is your baby. This is his senior season. I'm sure you're being filled with tons of emotions right now.
I am, but he told me just to chill out. Like yesterday, we were riding in the car. He was like, "Mom, please don't call me on the sideline. Don't make all that noise because I always hear you, but you're my son. I'm supposed to." So, you know, that's how it is.
And a lot of people might not know, but Coach Dumika Atkins is your little brother. So is that a double doozy?
Yes. I mean, I love both of my brothers. Baraka is also the defensive coordinator, and Dumika is the head coach, and Brock is my cousin, the offensive coordinator. So it's all family. Everybody's family.
Do you ever get mad at them when they do something like do the play wrong and Talik gets messed up? Do you blame him? Do you blame the brother? Or you just like, oh, just let it be?
No, we just let it be. We just get past it. You know, we can't blame everybody, so the mistakes do happen. So we just get past it.
And it is Dumika's first full season being the head coach, Talik's first full season, like we said, playing at quarterback. What are you expecting from the Booker Tornadoes? I know the crowd's going to be pumped up here tonight for the first kickoff game.
I'm expecting a successful season, you know, of course, injury-free. I just want them to get out there and play collectively as a brotherhood like they always do. So we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
And you don't have to worry too much about never seeing Talik play again because he is playing at the next level, D1 ball. He's verbally committed to the University of South Florida right up the road.
Yes, I'm excited, and I promise him I will not be up there twice a week.
You can always bring him food. That's the plus side of going to college close to home.
Exactly. I told him that. He was like, no, I'm good. So I'm going to go, but not as much.
So I guess we can get a big go Booker and go Bulls.
Yes, that's right.
Guys, we're having so much fun out here getting ready for Palmetto and Booker. We'll see you guys again at the 6:30 where we'll break it all down. Grant, back to you in the studio.
And Lyndon, Mom's always your #1 fan, I suppose.
Mom always has to be your #1 fan.
That's right. We've been talking about it all evening. It's finally football season here on the Suncoast. We're moments away from high school football officially kicking off, and
so exciting.
Yes.
You can just feel the energy here. Well, we're going to send it now to Palmetto High, where SNN's Lyndon Blake and Ben Bobick are awaiting all the action tonight.
Yes, Nicole, we are awaiting all the action. You can see both teams behind us are getting a little warmed up. We have a lot to talk about. These are two big teams to be keeping our eye on all preseason.
Yes, and speaking of heating up, it's been a hot one here tonight, but it's not too bad weather-wise. It's cool, the breeze is coming on, but we do have a lot to talk about. We're going to start with the Palmetto Tigers, and the #1 thing we're going to look at is their QB situation. They have two guys that we'll probably see a lot of today. One of them is actually the coach's son, Anthony Marino, and he is a junior, and he's not a bad guy. I mean, he has more of a passer, but he needs to work a little bit on his fundamentals and his technique, so we'll see a lot of him today. But the one guy I want to keep an eye on is LeJontay Wester. He's a sophomore, and he was on the Palmetto freshman team last year that went undefeated. And he is very quick, and he can do it with his legs. And obviously, you think about Jason Spicer was the quarterback last year, switched over to receiver. Wouldn't be surprised if we see him at quarterback tonight as well.
It's kind of funny how Jason Spicer was their quarterback last year, moved to receiver. Well, on the Booker side of things, we have Talik Keaton, who was Booker's main guy last year on the receiving core. Now, he's in the quarterback position. He played a little bit of quarterback last year when Arthur Brantley got injured during the Port Charlotte game, but he's feeling pretty prepared to come out here. He's an athlete. He's going to USF, but it's his first time getting the reins in this first season game. He might have some pre-game jitters, but it's very interesting how it's kind of a switcheroo
it is
with
a
the
little
team.
bit of a switcheroo, you're right.
So it's very interesting. So we'll keep our eye on the quarterback positions for both the teams out here. One of Palmetto's strong points is their defense.
Oh, yeah.
So
the Tigers' defense has been their strong point all of last season, and that's one thing they're trying to kind of get in on this year, is score more points on offense, because their defense is going to hold them. There was 3 straight games last year. They didn't give up a point. They held Manatee to 7 points, and the only team in the state of Florida last year, I've been saying it all month long, to hold Venice High to 0 points and a half. They took that 3-0 lead against the Indians last year. So, you know, the defense will show up. It's for the offense to score some points.
And I know it's just a preseason game, but one thing I want to hammer home right now before we send it back to you guys is these two teams are probably the two teams in our area who will benefit most from this new playoff rule. We touched on it a little bit earlier in our breakdowns, but to understand it, these guys do not have to win first or second in their district to make the playoffs. They just got to beat some good teams out here this season and make the playoffs.
Now let's do predictions here, Lyndon. What are you feeling?
I'm going to go with Booker. I'm going to say Booker 28, Palmetto 24.
I'm going Palmetto 42, Booker 14.
So we'll
They'll
find
score
out
some
tonight on the
points.
football show who was right, guys.
Very
Back to you.
guys, 2 area teams. Are you expecting a big crowd out there?
Huge crowd. The stadium's starting to fill up, Grant. I don't know if you can get a good glimpse of the Palmetto side, but people are starting to come in, and the Booker side starting to fill up. So they just got off the bus not too long ago, and we still have a little bit to kick off.
Grant, football is back on the Suncoast. What could you ask for more?
I'm fired up.
exciting.
We are fired up. It's going to be incredible.
Oh, yes, it is. Ben, Lyndon, thank you so much, and we'll have all those highlights coming up at 11.
Don making his big debut on Friday Football Fever at 11:15. Stay tuned for that. Have a great night.